Hi everyone, my name is Nancy and this is my knitting podcast. I really didn't plan to film this intro today, now, and maybe you can say, but I just started my planned and almost dream project, and I guess this will be the project video. It's not my typical knitting project when I'm designing or duping any pieces. This is pattern that I'm doing is Tulip loop sweater designed by Other Loops. I was planning to make it very long ago. I have the yarn for it, bought in last spring, I guess, on the yarn market, and this pattern was in my autumn planning wishlist way, and all information about the yarn will be in that video if you're interested. But I'm using this hand-dyed yarn that is collaboration with hand dyer and collaboration between Polish hand dyer and Polish yarn manufacturer, Gabo Wool and Woolala. And the pattern calls for decaweight yarn plus the mohair strand. And I had problem because I have this yarn, which is beautiful yellow yarn. I wanted it to work in my plans, and after Other Loop was sneak peeking her new Tulip sweater, I knew that I want to use this particular yarn for that project. But later I discovered that she used decaweight yarn plus mohair, and my yarn is fingering weight yarn. And that means that I need to hold 2 strands of mohair as some test knitters did. I didn't want the sweater to be as fluffy as 2 strand mohair can get it, so I decided, and I found the West Yorkshire Spinners, am I correct? Yarn. It's exquisite lace yarn that I found in our store, and the yardage of this yarn is 80 meters in 100 grams, and I thought that I guess I could use it double stranded in pair to my fingering weight yarn, and that's how I will gain the gauge. So after swatching, it appears that to hit the gauge I need not a 4.5 millimeter needle that Other Loops suggested, but only 5 millimeter needles. So this is how I'm going to work. I'm going to pair fingering weight yarn with double strand of the lace yarn on 5 millimeter needles. Hopefully it will work for me. I'm going to make the biggest size. I only have 3 skeins of fingering weight yarn, so finger crossed, and yeah, we'll see how it will go. I'm really excited right now. Oh, and also I haven't knitted cables since my high school, which was really long ago. So here's my small pink cable needle that I found, and yay!
So this is what I got left on the second ball of the yarn, and I need to knit 2 sleeves, obviously. So I'm preparing my needles and my cable. This is my road marker. Nice, yeah. And now I need to cake those two guys. In theory, there will be enough yarn to finish my 2 sleeves, so let's keep my fingers crossed. And it will be. Okay, so this is the sleeve update. I've left only this amount of yarn. Didn't matter how much it weighs. So right now I'm placing my cords. Well, I just place the cord stoppers, stitch stoppers. So this is amount of cables that I made. I didn't read everything that I should have, so I made more decreases along the sleeve than I should, and I made 6 cables, which is correct amount, but not from my size. That doesn't matter. And in this point I should start making twisted rib for the cups, and because I do not know how much yarn I've left, and only now I just figured that I could weight it, so I should know. I was scared that I'm going to play yarn chicken with the second sleeve, because this is all of the main yarn that I have. I have more of it, yes, in the last one, but this one is only that I have in possession and there's no opportunity to buy more. So yeah, theoretically I've done the sleeve up until the cuff. It looked ridiculous. Well, first of all, because I did much more decrease than I supposed to, and second of all, yeah, because of the ribbon, it looks funky and shrink. So yeah, now I'm going to measure this guy and think what should I do, half now, or the reason why I was putting them on the hold because I thought that maybe I will need the other sleeve, and then, well, if I will have enough yarn, obviously I will go back and need this cuff, and if not, I could go back and unravel some rows, I guess, because I made 6 cables instead of 5 for my size, so like maybe I could unravel it, but yeah, I don't know. So I should measure. I should weight my yarn. Yeah.
you can see, I finished my tulip loop sweater. I'm wearing it right now. As far as I remember, it took me 14 days. It's really engaging knitting, and this is my first finished garment in terms of its first sweater that includes cables. I was knitting cables when in my high school, but nothing like garment for myself especially was made using cables, so it was fun for me. And now I want to summarize everything that I think about this sweater and my experience, etc, etc. So as you see, I used merino wool yarn, and also I used Falkland wool, mulberry silk yarn, so it's limited edition of Gabba wool yarn, and exquisite lace from West Yorkshire spinners. I really like this yarn combination. Just want to emphasize this. This is really nice to touch. It's my first time using Falkland wool, and yeah, it's beautiful. Well, I'm wearing this sweater already for several days, so it's peeling a bit, but I'm not so critical for the peeling at all, so it's not bothering me. And I really do like this slight marbled color because of the different shades of yellow that I have. So overall, I'm very satisfied with the yarn. But because I choose to substitute yarn, there is some inconveniences. Other loops, if I'm not mistaken, using 2 strands of twilly and 1 strand of silk mohair. I didn't want to add silk mohair here. I didn't want to make 2 strands silk mohair and the merino wool. I knew for 100% that that strand of merino wool will be like my main yarn, because it's supposed to be according to my plan, and so I just need to find a pair for that. And the 2 strands of lace yarn, for my opinion, was a good idea. Maybe if I add to this 1 strand of silk mohair, it will be even better gauge wise, but the problem with the sweater is yes, there is a problem with the sweater. As I said, other loops use twilly from Isagar. I'm saying it correct, right? And the twilly is obviously another type of yarn that merino wool yarn. As far it's like it's my first experience with this kind of issues. I never had issues with merino wool or something before, but I guess all the time that I was using merino wool before was projects that it was supposed to use that kind of yarn. And for me it's most obvious that for this project merino wool is not suitable because of the finish garment measurements. I never measure my garments before blocking or after blocking. I don't do this. I'm just measuring it on my body, but I can say 100% there's something off. Okay, I was doing gauge swatch, but I did not make a full swatch because I was like on a tight with my yarn. I have only 1200 meters, so I just like made gauge swatch on my needles a bit, measure it, it looks okay, so I proceed. I was increasing the needle size So I haven't used 5mm needles. It's supposed to be, but 5 and a 5. I don't recall what's recommended needle size, but I used 5 and 5mm needle size to hit that gauge. And well, I was satisfied with my gauge swatch, and I didn't wash it. I obviously didn't dry it, and etc. And probably this is the problem, because I have a feeling that twilly yarn that's originally used by other loops and the testers performs differently after blocking that merino wool yarn. I heard that a merino wool yarn, because of the spin and because of the yarn characters, it's like more prone to get back to its previous shape, if it has any meaning. So after you are washing your yarn, blocking your yarn, your garment, it's have this ability to get back into shape. Am I correct with that? Well, that's how my sweater is engaging. So the problem is the length and the sleeves. I did exactly the same amount of centimeters that we have in the pattern for my size. I made the biggest size. Maybe wise it is a big, but obviously not the lengthwise. So it could be bigger, more oversized, especially well, I thought that, well, in other knitters, on other loop by herself. So you can see that in her version it's very long, oversized sleeves, or long sleeves and long body. I made exactly amount of centimeters that was supposed to be made according to pattern. I made exactly amount of the cables that's again was in the pattern. On my sleeves even I made one cable more, so it should be like long, but somehow it's not. Now they are perfectly fine, well, but it's not this oversized long fit garment. So I think that in other loops sweater, after blocking, the yarn just stretched as it was supposed to with this kind of yarn. And in my situation, the yarn and garment stretched out, but after wearing and after it's drying, it's like shrinks to its previous form in a way. It's really interesting because I have already 2 times steam blocked this, especially the shoulder and sleeve part, because it's obvious that it's drop shoulder construction, as you can see, and it's like obvious, yes, and because it's a drop shoulder, so it's obvious that the length of the sleeve depends of the drop shoulder. Well, after me blocking it, they are long, like till this point, but after me wearing it, it's become short again, and it's really funny because I need to wear it several times, and each time it gets shorter and shorter on me. So I guess the stitches are working itself with the wearing, and they are stretching widthwise more than lengthwise. so the length's getting shorter and the width, well, I cannot say that it's getting bigger. It's not really a big sleeve. A few words about this. In some point when I was making the sleeves, I didn't read correctly or till the end, so I made bigger amount of decreases for the sleeve, so it's more tapered on me. It should be I guess I should stop decreasing maybe on this point, so it will be like more wider in the end. But if it will be more wider, it will be more shorter. I don't know, maybe I won't be able to finish the garment because I was very, you know, on the limits with my yarn. And speaking about yarn, that's what I left. So this is everything that I left from my merino wool yarn. It's funny because I was like, I waited my yarn for the sleeve. After I finished one sleeve, I waited my yarn, and I have left like 60 grams of yarn and 56 or something like that. So I thought that this amount of yarn will be enough, and like this sleeve 50 grams, this sleeve 50 grams, so it will be like just on point. But somehow I even managed to increase my ribbon on the sleeves, and I still have a bit of yarn. Didn't wait it this time. And the Falkland yarn here. So yes, somehow the sweater shrinks like on me during yeah, the wearing of it. I'm not sure what to tell on this behalf. Actually, I do really like this sweater. As you can see, I managed to fit in my 1200 meters of yarn, which I'm really happy. But yeah, I will be more happier that maybe it's not the body lengthwise, but the sleeve lengthwise is bothering me more. Maybe I should stretch it or something, I don't know. It's obvious to me that my final object is a little bit different from the other loops, and I made the biggest size. It's not any like shades to the designer. I know that well, not everyone is satisfied that she has this pretty limited sizing for her designs, but it's not the first time that I made other loops design. Previous I had, I cannot remember what sweater it is. Yes, this one I made, and in my case it did become bigger than I expected. Even though I made the biggest size from all of them, but it's become even bigger. And this time it's like it stretched its ribbon as it's supposed to be, and I was a bit concerned, will it stretch, because previous pre-blocking it was really tight on me, and now if we will compare, now I'm satisfied. But except the sleeves, it could be better. So I made everything according to pattern, which is obvious that it's not the problem with the pattern, I guess. But in my case, well, it's supposedly that my yarn didn't stretch as it was in designer's garment. So be careful using substitute when you substitute the yarn for this project, and maybe for her another project, because I thought I've seen my friend's podcast, and she was rating her cardigans, and she has the same issue with her cardigan from other loops when she was substituting the yarn from the designer. Well, substituting for this cardigan, and she has pretty much same issue with the length and width of the sleeve. So maybe, yeah, I recommend you to use the designer fabric or just substitute for the same fiber, because I guess merino wool it's not the best in this case. Yeah, that's everything that I want to say about it. I love how it looks like. It's my well, it's not my first yellow, but it's first yellow that I'm wearing. I'm wearing it regardless of the sleeve situation. It's not bad, but it's just not the same, and I need to like wiggle it a bit to make it the sleeves longer again. And yeah, so I do recommend this pattern if you like it. I prefer this one more than the turtleneck design because I prefer the ribbon and not the seed stitch, and I do not really like when bigger sizes has this very big amount of seed stitches for the width increasing, let me say that. So it's just my remarks. So when you have in this case when you have the ribbon design, so it was just easier to add some ribbon sections to make it bigger width-wise. And actually I did add another portion of this rib section. So the rib section is 5 stitches, 2 purls, 3 knit. So I made a bigger I add 5 more stitches under the arm for each side, so it will be bigger, because even on the point that I was making it, I maybe see some potential problems. I was really nervous that it won't be fitting me at all, so I made increases, and yeah, it's not that big in the end. And with the seed stitch, I do not like when there is this massive section here, because sometimes designers want like duplicate some portion from this range. Instead they just like limitlessly increasing the seed stitch, and on the small size it looks organically, and on the bigger size it's just chunk of seed stitches before the cables, for example. And I think that it's like poorly designed piece, so I prefer this one. It's really nice. It's really nice range of this tulip designs in other loops. So she has this first sweater, then she released the turtleneck one with seed stitch, then she released, if I'm mistaken, the vest or the v-neck, because you have this V on your back, so she's just like flipped back to the front and you have this v-neck option, and then you have the vest option. At some point when I was playing yarn chicken even on the body, I thought maybe, okay, I will make the body as it's supposed to be. If I will be running out yarn, I'm just make it into the vest, which is really not a bad option to have the vest, not the v-neck, but you know, it's typical sleepover. I really like this design. I really like these cables. It was fun, they're easy to make, and it's my first big ribbon sweater. But yes, I have concerns about the yarn choice, and please consider it by yourself if you're going to make this sweater. So I guess I just never worked with Isager yarns. I'm not used to it's, well, they're not scratchy, stiff or something, they're rustical, And for my opinion, there is the reason why in every design there's like two strands of isagar yarn, one which is silk mohair that I heard they have very soft, so to compensate, but yeah, I never used any of their yarn, and maybe I should. Yes, that's my final words on the sweater. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked it. I hope that I will make this video air so it wasn't a waste of time to film it. Please comment what you want in my comment section. Have a nice day and bye.